You'll see a lot of people in the spiritual community talking about take what resonates and asking you to use your discernment. And in today's video, I really want to get into what that actually means, why this is really important, especially in our day and age, and also give you a quick exercise that you can use to help you really feel into what resonates and what doesn't for you. Before I get into all of that, I should, of course, first introduce myself. My name is Susie. I am an Akashic Records teacher and practitioner, and I have worked with thousands of clients all over the world, helping them to really connect to their spiritual sovereignty through the tool and the practice that is the Akashic Records. I am also the host of the Wisdom from the Akasha podcast. If you like to do a deep dive into spiritual and esoteric topics and you like podcasts, I would definitely recommend checking that out. Okay, so first of all, what is discernment? And discernment, of course, has many definitions, as all of these things do, but it's really this ability to filter through everything that you're receiving, all of the information, all of the inputs, to filter through what is true and what's in alignment with you and what is not true and is not in alignment with you. When you receive information that is in alignment to you and that is truth, capital T truth, what you're going to find is there's going to be this resonance, this feeling of expansion. The problem we have in this day and age is that we are constantly bombarded with information. I don't think I need to tell any of you just how much information we are experiencing and that we have the ability to consume on a daily basis. And when we are constantly bombarded and also very disconnected from our bodies, what happens is we really lose the ability to connect into this discernment filter and filter out what is good for us, what is in alignment, what is truth, and what isn't. So before I get into the exercise that I want to share with you all today, I really want to just reiterate and emphasize why it is so important that you do prioritize discernment and resonance on your spiritual journey. The spiritual journey can be very difficult, it can be very confusing, and you can receive lots of different points of views, perspectives, especially if you're not following a specific path or a specific tradition. And because of the amount of information and different perspectives and opinions that are out there, it can be very difficult to feel into, okay, is this information for me? Does it align with me? And does it not? Now, not only is that difficult in our physical reality, but also when you start to connect into higher dimensions, you start to connect into different beings and different energies, it can be really difficult if you don't have a connection to your body and a connection to your discernment to discern, is this information coming from source consciousness? Is it coming from the light or is it coming from the false light? Now, I will do a separate video on the false light. I'll get into that as a separate topic. But just understand that whilst you're on your spiritual journey and you're opening up to your different abilities and your clear senses, it's very normal to receive information from the light and also the false light, because one of the things that's really important on the soul's evolutionary journey at this time is this ability to discern. This is an initiation that people are going through, this ability to choose whether or not information is from the light or from the false light. Because of the density that we are in, this is just part of the process and it's part of your spiritual development. So I want to get into the practice, and with all body practices, with all somatic practices, it's really important to try and get out of the head and into the body. So before you even start the practice, my first tip is to just spend a couple of minutes brain dumping. And brain dumping is literally just writing down every single thing that your brain is telling you that you need to focus on onto a piece of paper. So that might be your to-do list, it might be what you need to buy from the shops, it might be reminding you of an email that you have to send. Just write it all down so that when you're going into that practice, you're getting rid of a bit of that noise, which is just going to keep your attention and your consciousness focused up here rather than going into the body, which is where we need to be when we are working with our discernment and our resonance. I do recommend that when it comes to the practice, that you practice this in both a seated position, feet on the floor, and also a standing position. The reason that this is important is because you may feel different in respect of how resonance feels in the body in those positions. And of course, we spend a lot of our time either sitting down or standing up. So knowing how it feels in both cases is really important. You get bonus points if you do this outside with your feet on the grass, on the soil, or on the sand. So whichever position you're going to try, just sit or stand in that position and try to connect into the body as best as you can. I like to do this with a quick body scan, which just involves me putting my awareness and my attention onto my feet, and then my ankles, and then my knees, and working all the way up through the body until I get to the crown of the head. This is just me saying I'm paying attention to my body, I'm paying attention to what's going on. Once you have completed the body scan, and you may need to do it a couple of times to really feel like your consciousness and your awareness is in the body, state something out loud that is completely true. So for example, I would state, my name is Susie. This is a statement of complete truth. Now what you want to do when you make that statement out loud is take a couple of seconds to just feel how truth feels in the body, okay? And then repeat this statement. And I would recommend repeating this statement out loud for at least 10 repetitions. What you will find is you're going to start to feel how truth feels in the body. The most common feedback I get from clients when they do this exercise is that truth feels expansive. It feels like it's in alignment with their beingness. Now what you want to do is the same practice again, same position, but you want to state something out loud that is false. So for example, I could state my name is Lydia. And what you will see is that the statement that is false is going to feel very different than the statement that is true. It's going to feel more contracted. So give this a try. Do it for a couple of weeks, once a day. And what you will start to notice is that as you go about your daily life, as you listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, go on social media, read books, what you're going to find is your body and the wisdom within the body and the soma is going to start telling you this is right, this is truth, this is in alignment, and this is not something for me. Okay? So I would love to hear from you all in the comments if you give this a try, how you find it, and if you find it helpful. Please know that if you are someone who spends a lot of your time in your head overthinking, overanalyzing, it can take a little bit of a while, not only just to reconnect back to the body, but also to get a clear truth and non-truth in the body, okay? It's definitely worth persevering with. It's definitely worth practicing. And I would love to hear how you all find it. I really hope you found this video helpful today and that it helps you really connect to discernment and feel that resonance on your spiritual journey.